She move her body like a shaman. All in my head, so much in common. Just say that word, baby, I'm on it. If this ain't love, then I don't want it. She move her body like a shaman.
Hi, welcome back to Culture Healing. So the conversation I had with SEON, remember he said he was going to be back. Well, he's back with us today. So welcome back to the podcast, SEON.
Thank you very much, my dear. Thanks for inviting me again.
You're very welcome. All right, so today we visited like mental health in men and just how food really affects your body. Basically, we didn't really stick to the topic. We just went off, but when you really listen to it, it comes right back to one thing. So today we are mostly going to visit the relationship dynamic in the Caribbean and how different culture cross over and how we may have like a different understanding of what their relationship is compared to another's culture. And just how men are faring within the Caribbean when it comes to us women being so controlling and in a manner where we don't listen basically to the man until he decides to get violent in a way which I see happens a lot in the Caribbean. So I wanted to bring a little light to it and see if we can change that dynamic to a more loving home for the sake of our children. So, sir, yes. Take it away. What do you think about it, and what do you think may be the issue and problem and solution to this?
Okay, all right. So let me see how best I can relate to this topic from a male perspective. And based upon one of my experience, I dated this female who is kind of like an alpha female, right? And that's fine. But understand it is important for a male to be made to feel like a man, right? And, she earns well. And she even, before one time, she even mentioned that, she wears the pants because her work would require her to wear pants, right?
Alrighty.
And I think that takes away from a woman being a divine woman, right? Because we all have things that we're better at. A woman might be better at nurturing, right? That's our divine role as a nurturer, whereby a man now, his divine role is a protector, a provider. Yeah. So like I was saying, I think once a woman is allowed to be in her role. I'm not saying that you have a particular role, because I think like we all have masculine and feminine energy, right? So we all can do different things. And certain women like can be like alpha female and can, pretty much have the I can do it myself mentality, which is fine, but understand you have balance. You need a masculine energy around to balance, right? So I think just going back to self and understanding who you are as a divine female would allow you to give the male his due and allow him to be the provider and the protector that he was naturally created to be and to do. But then you can say that, but then when you look at the societal programming now, right? A lot of let's keep it to the black males, a lot of the black males, they can't even get a job.
Yeah,
and I've got a friend who and part of it has to do with most of it has to do with racism, right? I had this friend, it is many years ago, and he had an Indian surname, right? His father was Indian, his mother was black. So he went for this job interview. He sent in his application, they call him, and when he turned up, this black guy with his Indian surname. And based on that fact, he did not get a job, right?
Wow.
So it's a big societal programming to keep the provider out of his role, right?
Yeah.
So when the black man can't provide, then the black woman are forced to provide, and then the man don't feel like a man anymore, right? And then the woman feel like he is the man of the home, right? And just by simply taking away the male from his role, that alone is one of the biggest breakdown in the family home. You know, and then it trickles down. You know, a child see my mom speaking to my dad anyhow, and then she gonna feel like she can speak to the dad anyhow. Or you might see the dad might be frustrated and start abusing, drinking, doing XYZ. Then the child might come up, because children are very observant.
Yeah.
Right? They would take on the energy, and then they would find themselves in similar situation. So I think it all have to do with restructuring the family home. And in order to really restructure the family home, I think the system that governing us needs to go, because we usually take guidance, you know, from our society, you know, via the media, via the news, etc. And if it's a calculated act to destroy the black home, then I think we have to look at the structure that we are under and try to create our own structure, right? Because you cannot have somebody that does not care for your well-being, your welfare, but still have them governing you.
Yeah, I agree.
That's part of my little take on it.
Yeah. Pardon me?
So that's part of my little take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because I visited the Willie Lynch letter, people go and listen to the Willie Lynch letter and see how making the woman more alpha male in the family was completely an agenda, because they knew a black couple were always equal on equal platform. They were the one who in their homes did not have that equal platform. So they tried to bring and introduce, they did actually introduce that within our home base. And then is where we have the alpha female in the home, but also watch how, again, I keep saying how female are raised to be more responsible than the male. So the fact that she is brought up an alpha male from her alpha male mother, and the sons are the one who are laid to do whatever they want to do. So when he then goes into a relationship, he accustomed to doing what he wants to do, not taking risk. Yeah, and not be going into that leadership role that he as a man supposed to be. He just know that he must be a leader, but he doesn't know how to be a leader because it was never taught to him. So when that alpha female and that male who knows that he's supposed to be but don't know how to go into a relationship, he is then conflicted with her role, and she is then forced to continue being so. And because of that fact, she take on the role over the last few years and did not realize that she has been exuding this controlling manner, as people will take it, into her relationships and workplace or whatever the case is. But when you break it down, I don't think it is that a female wants to be controlling. I think that's just how society has pushed her to be. And then when it comes down to her actually meeting a man that's going to push her back the way she pushes, then it comes that dynamic where they don't know how to handle that aspect of force. So in terms of both alpha males and alpha females in a relationship, what would you say you can tell them and how to get along with each other? Because the main aspect of that is that you two want to lead. How do you lead on an equal level? What is your take there?
Interesting. And for me, I respect a female that is ambitious. I think we all have to aspire to be great. You know what I mean? Because like I just cannot accept a female from my personality, based on my personality. I cannot accept a female who just
doesn't really let things happen.
Really trying to do anything for herself. You know what I mean? But, based upon how it's programmed, how it's set up, it's already challenging, right? So I think for both alpha male and alpha female to coexist, one must try to be more understanding of self, right? And once you understand yourself in the sense like, okay, this is my personality, then you're gonna try to find somebody while courting that's gonna match your personality, right? And you might be let's say we're in the topic of the alpha female, right? You might know that you're an alpha female, but if while dating you come across this male that's a little bit too alpha, right? Then that's going to be conflicting because you want to be you and he's going to want to be him, right? And then it's like you're going into a situation where you know this is not going to work, right? And there's an old saying, you can't got two men running the house. You can't have two male running a house. So you can try to find ways to make it work, but naturally, I think a man is going to want to be a man, and a man is going to try his best to be a man. And if you've been in an alpha female position for too long, it's going to be a little bit challenging for you to go back into your natural role as a divine female, as a nurturer, as a provider, somebody that can take two plantain and cassava and go make the meal while I'm two plantain and cassava and say there's no food in the house.
Thank you.
So a female knows what to do. So she can try and try and try to be an alpha female, but that's not her divine role, right? Then all come back to knowing self. Because once you know yourself, you will know
your role.
I can deal with this female, I can deal with this male. And there's no point in this time to try to be somebody else to fit into a place that you honestly do not fit into, right? You're a female, you're a divine female. Honor yourself, honor your role. But based upon this today's society, this programming, you know, most female under the illusion, and it is an illusion to feel like I don't need a man for nothing except, right? But you can get all the toys you want. You can do all the other stuff. You can get with your next female, right? But that's not what you're craving. You're craving somebody to protect, to provide for you, and all of this actually throws a female hormones off when she has to be in that alpha male role, right? It will keep you in the lower energy because you're not feeling love. You're not feeling that love that you need to feel from a male. Like another female can love you, you know what I mean? But truth is truth. You know, so this affects persons on many levels. But I honestly don't think an alpha male and an alpha female can coexist. I tried it, and knowing myself, like I don't want to be in arguments all the time. And every time, you know, I was basically trying to offer suggestions. You know, one suggestion was, hey, the road is clear. You can come out now. We're driving. You can come out now. Like I've been driving for 20 years, you know, as if like I can't give an opinion. Like and a male need to feel like that's the simple way for a male to try to be a male, to try to, all right, it's safe to come out. He's still trying to look out for you, still trying to protect you. But because you're, you know, a so-called alpha female, you can,
or you don't trust him,
you know, so I don't think it can work.
You don't think it can work.
I
like it. I like it.
But I don't think it will work.
The two of them will have to be on a very high super level of understanding and realize what their goal in this relationship is in order for me to see an alpha male and a female to work. Honestly, oh gosh, lost. Honestly, for that to work. So what I have noticed in the dynamic of relationships, right? That's why I asked about the alpha male and the alpha female being together. They are both on the same energy level. So you will have to be strong enough to see past that energy level in order for you to really boil down that, you know what, this is about a mateship and we have bigger things to worry about than just our two egos clashing who want to run the household. So I feel like a breakdown of what you should take and what I should take should be implemented, like organize what you can be in control of or handle. I shouldn't say control. And what you can handle and what I should handle or could handle at that day, whereas you guys don't really cross lines in that manner. But what I find in a lot of relationships, and I have been saying this for a while, I have noticed that a lot of the times when people are gay, I have noticed that in the relationship there is always a feminine version and a male version.
Absolutely.
There's the same thing with being a lesbian. And there's a feminine version, there's a male version. And what is happening there is that they are running, well, they don't know, I should say, that female or male version within themselves. So they think that I can't date a girl because almost all girls are feminine or male, depending on what they're looking for, depending on if you're lesbian or gay. All women are feminine, so I want to have a more female, a more male perspective. So I decided that I am going to deal with a fella. When in actuality, if you stop being gay, right, and you watch the lesbian who are more male, mesh her with a male who is more female, I should say, quote unquote, and mesh them together, you will find that they will still be comfortable. That is why you have female who are alpha males, and women who are feminine, and males who are alpha males, and men who are in more of a feminine type. It is not always to have a man who is all masculine. That's why I say that there are false masculinity out there, because not all men, right, absolutely. Right, not all men wants to be all butchy and ready to fight somebody or whatever. Exactly. Some men like to be protected as well. Some men, it comes a time that his alpha male is going to rise up, but he needs to protect his family. But there are times that they don't need to be that way, and that's where alpha female comes in to play in that soft man's role life. You know what I mean? And build that foundation. But the fact that you say, "Oh my gosh, I'm full alpha female, and all the men are distant, controlling," but you're not looking to see that there are men out there who are not alpha male, and you can actually date them. So
absolutely.
So what is your perspective? Because I've been watching, I've been talking about this with a group of people, and some haven't even thought about it actually. And I haven't heard anybody be like, yeah, this is that, and I've been seeing this. I've been watching that dynamic, and I feel like not all male are meant to be masculine, and not all female are meant to be feminine. That is why you have that barrier with the balance between the two personalities.
And like you said, balance is key. Balance is absolute key. You know, there's a time where you're gonna just be calm, and there's a time where you're gonna need to be a man and honor and protect, you know, and do all of that stuff. But I think because we've been misguided to neglect that feminine energy within us, because again, balance is key. You have the masculine energy and you have the feminine energy. And because we've been taught a man must be a man, right? So a man now would think that being a man means you have to suppress your feminine side, you have to suppress your emotion. You have to say, you gotta be on top of your voice, as opposed to, you know, just be calm and allow a female to sometimes, you know, to sometimes lead. Because I like a female too that can you know, have suggestions. I like a female that sometimes can show her true divine feminine side, you know, come and sit down and rub your head, you know, and do certain simple things, you know. But that would seem like, you know, if a male is too hard, a male might not really want that. So then the female don't really know what the male wants, and the male don't really know what the female wants, because everybody is on opposite polarity. There's no in between. There's no balance, you know. But I don't always feel like I gotta be tough, and I don't. I'm a cool guy, you know. I'm not a very boisterous person. But if I said ABC, I would like for you to honor my ABC, as opposed to wait until, you know, I realize, like, okay, you probably think I'm joking, and then I raise my voice, you know. So
which then force you out of your character, basically.
Yeah, so I like to be balanced, but at the same time, you have to because female have a way. This is female. This is who they really are. They like to be controlled. Females like to be controlled.
True.
Not in a abusive
but
way.
led.
Female like to pretty much.
Yeah, they like to
be led. You know, they want a man that knows how to lead. Right, that's what they naturally want. But again, they're not in their true role. So it's hard for them to like surrender. But then you have to know what you're surrendering to. And then male are not really in their role either. Right? So they don't know how to lead. You know what I mean? And that's why, regardless whatever conversation we have in, it will always go back to knowledge of self. You know? Because once you know who you are, you know what I mean? Then you'll be good in any situation because you're going to be honest to yourself, you know. But I think it is important for female to know that a male don't always have to be strong, and also important for a male to know that you don't always have to be strong.
Yes.
You know, you don't always have to be strong. You know, there's balance, and sometimes a female, because she's so divine in her femininity, right? She would want a man sometimes that can meet her in her essence, you know, and talk nice and soft to her and touch her in a soft way, etc. As opposed to just being a man and just gotta be right. You know what I mean? So it comes back to balance. It comes back to balance. It always come back to balance. And sometimes you gotta, you know, role play. All right, I'm accustomed to being tough, you know. Or let me try to be gentle. And see how she responds to me being gentle. You know, and if a female, you know, think like, oh, I'm always tough, you know, and she don't have to have an alpha male, but sometimes you just gotta try different things, because again, there's balance. You have the masculine and the feminine energy, but because we're one side dominant, so we don't find that neutral ground. But I think if you try, you know, and experiment with your partner, because that's how I learn my partner, is I always experiment. You know, I listen, you know, different ways. I observe, I do things differently, and just try to see what works. You know, because I already know what works for me, and if I try different things and it don't work, then you know it don't work. So it all comes back to balance, and sometimes just trying to meet your partner
halfway
on their level to see, you know, what really works, or what can work better, what can make the relationship better.
It's true. I remember that people in every relationship that you go into, this person is new. Always think of it this way. No matter how similar they may be to somebody you've had before, or even similar to yourself or a situation you may have been in, remember, I always try to think of them as a new environment. When you go into a new environment, what do? You observe that environment. You try to learn that environment. You learn the nicks and cranny of such environment. You learn, make it a job to learn your mate, because your mate have influences on you, mind you. You give your energy to that person. You give your love to that person if need be. You're giving your body to that person. You're exchanging energies with that person when you give your body to that person. It is your responsibility to know what you are accepting from your new mate. Understand? So it is a good idea to study the environment that you're going into. Don't judge the environment based on what you may have gone through in the past. Let the past be the past. Learn to heal if need be. Understand? Don't ever move because you are fearful this person might hurt you the way the past hurt you. Therefore, you are actually going to attract that fear of being hurt and create that within your dynamic at the end of the day. We are beings of creation. We create everything we think and feel and do. So if you do not want this new journey and environment to be like your past, feel better, do better, give your all. When you give your all, you receive back the same thing. People always, and this is something I would love for you to break down as well. People always say, man, if I go in a relationship, I know give my all because he ain't gonna hurt me, right? Then when you don't do that, he can't feel your all on a pure level. Then he can't treat you because he can see you being guarded. And then the fact that you're being guarded, is going to create in an outer universe that dynamic that you did not want to be created. And boom, in about a year or two, he be the dog that you had already envisioned him to be. Literally, you envisioned that. Exactly. So if you do not want that to happen in this new journey and environment, do not envision it. Do not feel it. Do not fear it. Envision what you want to happen in a positive light and watch that bad boy unfold in front of you. Dive into that for me.
Yes. And I will start this off again with, you know,
knowledge of self.
The awareness of knowledge of self. And I mean, on a deeper level, knowledge of self, right? And we must understand that we are divine creators. We are literally a reflection of the all, right? And because we are creators, I'm not a religious person, but I would like to think I understand the allegories in the Bible, right? And in the Bible say, in the beginning was the Word. So if I should try to break that down, right? It basically says that in the beginning of your creation is your Word.
Yes,
so
people was about head dancing behind the camera when he said that.
Speak it, and it will come into your life. Especially if you believe it, especially if you have a deeper level of emotion behind it. So if you was really, really, really hurt in a past relationship, and you might not fully heal, and this is important to understand, you cannot take your baggage into somebody else's house. Somebody welcome you into the beautiful home. You cannot take your baggage there. At least I'm not gonna invite you in my home with all your junk.
You know
what I mean?
So yeah.
So you gotta heal yourself. And because persons are not, and I will always keep stressing this, knowledge of self. Persons aren't aware of the divine power, right? And if you do not know that every situation that comes into your life is to teach you something, whether this person hurt you, maybe this is something you need to experience so that the hurt might cause you to be stronger, or the hurt might cause you to take the hurt for only a week, when other times you've been taking the hurt for like a month, but you get stronger and you get stronger. Because why? Without experience, you cannot teach nobody nothing. So if you experience hurt, then maybe your job is to become like a
teacher,
female activist, so you can guide females and tell them like blah blah blah, right? But if you keep thinking of yourself as a victim, then you're gonna always keep repeating this cycle, because you bring forth everybody that you need in your reality to teach you exactly what you need to learn. This is science. Prove this. We are living in a holographic universe. So once you understand yourself, you're gonna see that everybody come to teach me something. You're gonna allow these persons to teach you. You're gonna love without judgment. You're gonna know that, listen, if this person come with anger, there's a level of me, a version of me that's vibrating in an anger level, and I need to feel this anger. And this is the person that I attract to teach me, how to deal with anger. And it goes on different spectrum. So again, regardless where we go, at least for me, I'm gonna always bring it back to knowledge of self. The knowledge of self. And if you're not fully healed, you cannot go into a relationship and expect something different. You gotta heal yourself, right? And it's a constant journey. So don't feel like you're gonna heal right after the next relationship. Sometimes the next partner is gonna be the person to help heal you, right? Because every time you're stepping up, you're getting closer and closer and closer to your journey. So every new relationship, you should learn something. So every old relationship, you should learn something, right? But if you don't choose to learn, if you don't see a lesson, then you will never really conquer relationships, and you're forever saying all men are dogs, right? But you attract these dogs. So if all men are dogs, a part of you attract a dog, right? Because if you're vibrating on a pure frequency, you would never attract anything other than that. And again, back to knowledge of self. Right? So I think to conclude, you have to basically observe yourself, observe your potential partner, and know that this person is cool, I am cool, I have a few hiccups, this person have a few hiccups, but go in being transparent. This is what I have to offer. These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. Likewise, this is what I have to offer. These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. I'm constantly evolving. I don't know what stage you're at, but maybe you're constantly evolving, and we can try this. And if it don't work, at least we help each other. But we go into situations, with a preconceived notion of how it's going to be. Right? And that kind of set us up for fear. But if you go into a situation with the intention to learn and the intention to be in the moment, right? Accept this love for the moment, also being quite aware that absolutely nothing lasts forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever except our memories. When we transition from here, only thing we take is our memories, right? So be in the now, enjoy the person for the now. Know that a time gonna come, whether it's transition, whether you outgrow each other, whatever it is, a time gonna come where you're going to separate, right? And just be aware of the fact and love in the moment. Be in the moment. You know, if you're upset, whatever, just know it's for a moment, right? Let go attachment, love without attachment, love without judgment, and we find life will become way more easy.
Yeah, and understand each other will be way more easier, as you said, because you are transparent enough for that person to be able to respect. And for me, people always say that they fear if they're transparent, someone is going to take that and trample all over it. That is not for you to worry about.
No,
Whether it is
you.
Go ahead, you do you.
No, that's you. That's you again, thriving on fear, right?
There we
and
go.
You cannot make. And if you make any decision based on fear,
Yeah,
you're basically giving away your power.
yes,
Because if there's
please.
the devil, fear is the devil, right? You cannot go into anything being fearful. I remember my first time trying to ice skate, right? And I'm thankful for little knowledge, right? I got on the skate and I'm holding to the rail and I'm walking on the rail. I'm frightened to let go of the rail. And then I catch myself like, yo, you vibrating in fear. Let go of this rail
Yes.
and the skate. And I let go of the rail and I skate and I skate and I skate up to now I fall down. Because I understand who I am. I understand
Right.
my sovereignty. I understand I'm divine. I understand I can do anything. And the only thing that will stop me, you, or anybody else from doing anything is fear.
Yeah, fear itself.
So you have to let go of fear. You know, there's an old saying, fake it until you make it. You want to attract a beautiful partner, just know you're going to attract a beautiful partner. But first, you have to become that beautiful version of yourself. Or else you will never attract that beautiful partner.
Exactly.
So if you're thinking all of these other negative stuff about all men out there are dog, and all this is that, and you know, I'm not good enough, you know, and I'm not this and I'm not that, then you're gonna attract somebody to show you where you're at. You're gonna attract somebody to show you where you are at.
Gems.
In your reality, right? This is all moment to moment to moment. So it's never nobody's fault. You're gonna find exactly what you need at the exact moment. And if you're in tune with yourself, again, if you know yourself, you're gonna know what message this person bring it to me so that I can continue to go.
Agree. Yeah, he said everything I was gonna say. I ain't even gonna stress. Mind you, people, I told the we were supposed to do this podcast yesterday. And I've been podcasting for 4 days in a row, 2 podcasts a day, right? And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I feel like cancer. I'm like, nah, this is a conversation I needed to have. And if you could continue saying everything I want to say and want to hear and give you guys, why not? Let it happen. So thank you very much. He said exactly, or not even exactly, way more than I was going to say. Let's put it that way. So yes, if you're going to go in a relationship fearful that this person is going to hurt you, believe it or not, baby girl or baby boy, this person going to hurt you because that's what you fear is going to happen. And I learned that shit from experience in a hard way, in a very, very hard way. I learned that experience when I was pregnant. I was so afraid that I would lose my kid. And I did lose my kid because of that fear. And that fear I live every day. I even envisioned like, oh my gosh, when my kid, and here, this is why I envision when, not if, you know, when it happened, this is always gonna go, blah, blah, blah. And believe it happened exactly that way.
Oh
Understand? It was horrible, right? And from there and then is how I was taught that what you envision and vibration and what you fear becomes that. And let me tell you, I blamed myself for such a long time. I blamed myself. I'm like, it's your fault. Why did you think that way? Why did you this? And I just went in on me. But at the end of the day, what I didn't do was, what I didn't look at was me learning what I learned through that experience. So after I realized, oh my gosh, you know what? Yes, you blame yourself, but what you did was also learn. And this is what you should be grateful for. So there, I forgive me. And from there, I start to not envision what I don't ever want to happen to me. And what I want to happen to me, I envision that completely. So you are your creator, but in terms of knowledge itself, we have to bring people aware of these factors within ourselves. And a lot of people out there are now speaking about this, or is now coming up out of the woodworks, that what you vibrate is what you receive. So I find like people are now going to be like, oh my gosh, you know what? I actually don't want this karma, as they call it, to happen to me. So let me not do this, instead of thinking it is in a physical way. Or if you rob that person, maybe 10 years from now, you may get robbed type of scenario. If this is not 10 years ago, this is instant. This is instant creation. The moment you think it, the moment is going to be created within that moment. So even if it don't happen right now, it is going to happen in a way. So we are creators, as he has been saying for a long time, you have to say it. And in terms of the dynamic that we have in the Caribbean, we have a lot of alpha males and a lot of alpha females, right? And our influences also come from overseas in a lot of ways when it comes to our relationship. But I've been watching the dynamic between how Guyana have a more two-parent home and how Barbados more have a single-parent home. And then when the two families or cultures mesh together, you find that the Bajans are more feeling the Guyanese dynamic of a culture because they are getting stability, but they don't know how to treat that culture. Likewise, now the Guyanese people are so accustomed to giving their all, but also in a more controlling aspect that it is easier to kind of get in a ball, right? So have you ever dated outside of your race? Not race as in not race as in color. Sorry, I think I used the wrong phrase. But out of your culture, let me rephrase that. Have you ever dated out of your Guyanese culture, and have you find that dynamic?
Again, you're trying to open a can of worms.
Oh shit.
Because I have dated outside of my culture.
Mm-hmm.
I have dated outside of my race.
Okay.
And in both dating outside of my culture and race, though at this point in my evolution, I try not to associate myself too much with culture and too much with race, because again, understanding who you are as a divine sovereign being, as a reflection of light, you know that all culture and all race are you.
Yes,
you know what
please.
I mean? But I tried dating outside of, obviously in Barbados, you sooner or later you're gonna,
date somebody,
try to experience the Barbados kind of love or whatever they might have to offer in that life. And I think, and I'm just being honest, like, truth don't have friends.
Right.
I think the culture here, the females here, weren't raised in a sense where
to value themselves.
Not necessarily to value yourself, but we're being able to take care of a home. I'm not saying that your job is to take care of home, but again, certain things make a man feel like a man, to know that his woman just try to provide for him in a sense, like, have some food, whatever the case is. I know in this current society, like, everybody's stupid busy with the work and the this and the that. But I find like there's no real care when it comes to offering it to the male.
Yes.
From the Bajan culture, like coming up, having a girlfriend in Guyana, she's gonna come by you. She's gonna,
clean, make sure you're good,
clean your fingernails. She's gonna, do your toes. She's gonna, rub your hair. She's gonna cook. She's gonna do all of this thing that make you feel like, wow, this woman really loves me, because that is her way that she was brought up to express love, understanding what the male like, because you cannot expect to be in a long-term relationship or expect a relationship to like when you don't know or expect a relationship to last, when you don't know what your partner like, you know, right? And it's like you come up, this culture, Barbados culture, come up like just from my experience, just expecting a man to
do anything
be
for
a
them,
man and provide, right? Whereby you're not even willing to provide a meal, though the man might bring all the grocery.
Yes,
he would bring, you know what I mean? So it's like way different, and to some extent, I was like, nah, man, I'm done dating major women. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to have to feel like I have to ask for certain things, because you don't have to ask me for nothing. Once you're my girl and we vibing, and you know, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try my best to bring you up with me. You know, whether it's introduce you to certain things, whether it's to gift you with certain things, whatever it is, I'm gonna try my best. But if I try my best and I'm not even getting an idea, like, you know what I mean? It's no point for me to stay, because I'm about growth. And if I can't even get an idea that's gonna help me to grow, you know, then what's the point? Like sex, oh yeah, sex is great, but I mean, like,
that's it. You're not feeling.
I can just be with somebody because of the sex. Nah, man, I'm worthy. I know I'm worthy. So if all you got to give me sex, please give it to somebody else. I need more on my table. You know what I mean? I find the culture very different. And now to go with dating outside of my race now, I find that and again, it has to do with how you was brought up.
Yes, please.
Right? But I find dating outside of my race, it was like I was more so honored, you know. I was more so respected. I was more so appreciated. I was more so loved, you know. Like I didn't have to feel like I had to be like
this masculine man thing,
macho.
this leader.
There was no need for me to be macho, you know. It was just like understanding, like, you know, this is how to treat a man. And then you kind of feel like, and then a lot of times you will find black females saying, oh, all the black male going on date, you know,
white women,
whatever you want to call them, white, whatever you want to call them, right? But at the end of the day, we all have one thing in common. We all want to be loved. Regardless how you're going to say it, like, I don't care if nobody, we all desire to be loved. We all want to be made to feel appreciated by somebody, right? And then when you're on, and again, I don't like to say that because I see things differently.
Yeah, likewise. Right? But why I say that, let me bring into perspective some people. Why is that we say, well, why have two conversations? Like we're having on a spiritual level, I can connect with him and not bring in the perspective of just seeing a being for a being in terms of color. But also for some people who may not be on that level of thinking is why I do certain conversations with people to get them to that point, get past that threshold so they can be on the level that we would most communicate on a normal basis, right? Because for some people, they may not understand that you don't see culture or people, right? You see being, but they don't understand that, right? So sometimes I just gotta let them know that sometimes we be having two whole conversations just for the sake of the people who understand one of the conversations type of thing. Right. Yeah, so continue.
Everybody wants to be made to feel love, right? But then also I'm aware that you can't give what you never experienced. You can't give what you don't have, right? So I can be as much as I would desire, you know, to be to be made to feel a certain way,
appreciated,
you know, honored, respected, you know, as much as I would want to feel that. But then, and I'm gonna stick in and suggest a research for every black male and female out there. Go and research. Type in on YouTube the calculated destruction of the black man and woman.
Yes,
this
please.
Is a very deep documentary. This guy created.
Let me type that down too.
This is a very deep documentary this guy created, right? And we are still under that program.
Yes, please.
Where we were stripped from who we are. Certain things was given to us, put in our neighborhoods.
Yes.
And then because we, as melanated being, you know, in this version of us, you know, in this era, we think that we don't have anything, we're not accustomed to anything. So they give us the money, they give us the drugs, they give us all of this other stuff, right? For our own selves, right? And this is why you will find the black man is always in competition with himself, right? With his reflection, with his version, right? You find the black man killing more of his brother, right? You know what I mean? And that's because we're still underneath this program. If you look at the Black People movie, look at Tyler Perry, for example. Everybody loves Tyler Perry. But look what Tyler Perry come out wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tyler Perry come out as a female, right? They take these celebrities and they use them to dumb us down, right? And then we would say, oh, you want to be like a Tyler Perry, or you want to be like a Rihanna, or you want to be like a Jay-Z. All of these people are nothing but puppets. And that is why we have to have a strong sense of discernment in this time, right? Be your own leader. When you were a newborn, right? Nobody didn't have to tell you, like, I'm hungry, and the way to get food is to cry. You know what to do, what you want, right? Nobody didn't have to tell you when to go to sleep. You know when to go to sleep, right? Nobody didn't have to tell you when to walk. You naturally, that inner version of you, that reflection of the source that's within you is what will always guide us. And that's what's been guiding a child, right? But then a child fall into that programming now where you have to go to school and you have to go to church. And then everything that you know, that you believe to be truth, based on your own knowingness, all of that's been gone out the door, been thrown outside, you know? You have to have validation now. If this is right, if this is wrong, you have to, you know, people tell you what words to use and when to use it. You know what I mean? And none of that is living your authentic life. And that's why I mesh with a lot of people, because I represent who I am as a sovereign being trying to live a righteous life. You know what I mean? And you might accept certain governmental programming, etc. But for me, like, I'm my own government, you know, because the government is to control, and I control me. You know what I mean? And that's a little bit of a rant.
No, it's not. It's needed. It's needed.
That's a little bit of a rant. But watch that, listen to that documentary, the calculation of the black man and woman, and then we will understand who we are, right? So back to the point, like, you would love a black woman. You would love for a black woman to love, appreciate those that only see, like, think black and black should be together. You would love for a black woman to really honor and respect the black man, and do not be the black man opposition. We already have everything fighting against us.
Yes.
When you come home, you want somebody to greet you with a hug, with a smile. You know, very granted, you might have your own stress, right? But don't bring your stress into my stress. Likewise, I shouldn't bring my stress and make it your stress, right? Your home should be a place of it should be a sanctuary. All your work issues should left at work. You know what I mean? And all of these stuff is what take us away from self, because we put in a stress environment, and it's made to be stressful. Work shouldn't be stressful. But it's put in an environment where they burden you with work. You sit down. Your life is what gives you energy, what gives you information. And you sit down in an AC building all day. You're exposed to no natural air, no natural light, right? You're stressed, suppressing your energy field, right? So when you come, it might be hard for you to be you know, joyful and stuff. It's true. You gotta find a way to be joyful. You can't be stressed at work and come home and bring stress. That's just the same way. You know what I mean? That's a disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. So we want our black women to love us. I remember this time, you know, I was like, I'm done. You know what I mean? And I had a period where I wasn't dating no black female, right? Wow. And then I kinda like went back with an ex, right? just for intimacy purpose, or and then like I remember putting my hand on her bum, and this thought come in my head like, oh, this is what I've been missing. Because the black woman shape like only the black women.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have the curves in all the right place.
Yes.
But somebody like myself that
you need that emotion.
Need quiet, need certain things. Right, I prefer to have a pancake and the pancake bring me peace and joy, and I have everything that I desire physically. But then you don't have that happiness, you don't have the joy.
Yes.
Right? The joy is what helps us to grow, joy is what helps us to evolve, joy is what helps us to transcend. Right? And I'm trying to evolve beyond the physical. I still have my work to do in terms of growing. But for me, I understand certain things, and I need to be peaceful, I need to be joyful. And anybody in my space and does not bring peace and joy, I cannot have you in my space for too long. I cannot have you, regardless. It could be family member, friends, whatever. And that's because I understand who I am, and I understand it helps me to grow, and I understand that my purpose is beyond myself. So I cannot stay with somebody and they got me struggling and miserable, and then I cannot get my life to the world. I can't do that.
And there it is, people. He broke down just what is wrong with a black woman. We also broke down how a black woman actually become in this matter and what that manner is. And solution now. In solution to this, we have shown you how it's breakdown. I will continue doing podcasts like this to continue to break this down so we can have a full understanding where we're lacking and why we're lacking it and why we weren't taught. I shouldn't be that. That's just mean. I shouldn't say what I want to say. Why we weren't taught the same love and appreciation the other cultures were taught, and why we were taught just to stress you guys out basically, and to be in that alpha female mode all the time. So we have to have more conversation, but I would love to have a conversation now with a female that knows that she is in alpha male mode and show other female that this is how she come to a balance with herself in that manner. But for me, he made a good point, and you see that a lot of black men are like this. Why don't date black women? Because you guys are too controlling. You quarrel so much. But yes, we quarrel a lot because we don't understand why this dynamic is. We just know we're under a lot of stress. This is what's happening. But then we only know what is happening to us. We don't take time to slow down and say, you know what? He is also human. He has stress as well. He goes through what he needs, and I don't even give him a voice to speak. So when he decides to go to somebody else for that, then we decide to blame him. It's like that victimhood in a black woman. She's consistently playing a victim in a lot of ways. And when we stop being victims to certain situations and people, we would realize again, it is to do with who we are as people and what we've been programmed with as women. So we have lost ourselves, completely lost who we were, completely lost the connection to the black man, completely lost connection to every single thing, everything else around us, including when we have kids. We do not parent right. We parent from a protective mindset. I need to make you strong. I need to make sure that I give you the core values of society so nobody don't come and do you nothing. So with that, now you teaching a child to always be in defense mode, but not teaching that child that their defense mode is the reason why their life are going to go the same exact way you're teaching and your life went. And they will not know the experience of the other side, which is what the other race have over us. They have both positive and negative in everything that has been taught. So I think we owe ourselves that responsibility to take a step back from everything we've been taught. Take a step back from religion. Take a step back from the radio, the TV, every single thing that you're consistently seeing, and really breathe. Really try to figure out who you are as a being, what you're about. If you want to continue to carry this burden into other people's life, because it's not just you feel your burden, it's other people as well. They may not be able to say, hey, I feel a dark energy, because they don't know what that is, but people feel burdens from you as well. People feel tired when being around you too. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. we have the responsibility, we have the time now, we have way more information than we used to before, a lot more connection that we used to before. What are you doing with yourselves, people? What are you doing right now? Like, you continue having kids, you continue sending them to school in the system, when in fact you've been hearing and seeing that the system does nothing for us, period. But we continue to be fearful. Why? Why you think? Why you think so?
Because no one really believes that they can be the change that's needed. And we've been forced to do things outside of our will in order to be part of a destructive system, in order to be part of a system that does not represent the divine black man and woman, right? We're forced to live in a system that does not honor anything that is a true representation of who we are. And the power of the people is more powerful than the people in power. And if we come together and decide, I'm not doing A, B, C, D, E, they can't do you nothing.
Period.
They can't do you nothing. But we fight for equality, right? We fight for equality. To be
coexist in the system, but not for ourselves.
As opposed to fight for freedom.
Yeah.
We want to be equal slaves.
Thank
we want to
you.
be, and this is even happen, and some of the persons, some of the people, our great teachers, influencers, they try to do things in hopes to better us, but really didn't, because back then we had what's called Black Wall Street. We had own black bank, own black school, own black airplane. We had everything, right? But what we tried to do, we tried to merge. We want Freedom March. And what the Freedom March do? You walk your ass right into a trap, right? Because now all of your assets gone and mesh with these people, and now these people are the ones that set the rules for you, right? But everything is bigger than a team, and we got to learn to use discernment. There's something that I like to use. You got to learn to see without sight. You got to learn to tap into your higher self and see what's really happening. Don't let these eyes deceive you. People are going to come, and there's always things, wolves dressed up in sheep clothing. Handle your business, trust in yourself, and do what you got to do to make right for you and yours. You don't have to be part of a system in order to thrive. You don't have to feel that you have to have so-called life insurance, so when you die, your children can get something. All of that is fear-based doing. Know that I am a sovereign being. I have the will to create infinite abundance for my children, so that you can and give 100 and however many $1,000 or however much from your old work in life, and then when you find that the inflation rate is so high that when you're done, you get nothing, but you just been a fool to pay all your money for insurance and to NIS. All of these are things that we really need to sit back and look and see what we're really doing. It makes no sense. And until we decide that we want to be sovereign, we're going to always be led astray. We're going to always be taken advantage of, because we have enough. Let's just say black millionaires, black scholars, whatever. We have enough. But unfortunately, these people aren't in control of their lives or their assets. These people, had to do certain things to get where they're at, and have like things that's against them, that if they only should try to do anything,
they lose
it
all.
Public, and then everything will drop. So some people aren't able to offer assistance, and that's why we got to move with morals, because everybody want to get rich, but people do stuff to get rich. And then these things that you do to get rich is gonna have a hang over your head, so you can't really reach back and help as much as you would want to help if you choose to help. So it's to be sovereign. Is to start to invest in true knowledge, right? Because the money's gonna go. Like a friend was telling me, oh, She wants to, you know, build generational wealth with a man and all of that stuff. I'm like, really, generational wealth? That's going back into the slave program. Because in our true essence, we didn't have no wealth. Our wealth is our knowledge.
Yes.
There wasn't no money a few 100,000 years ago. There wasn't no money. What sort of wealth you thinking about?
Yes.
Wealth was oneness. Wealth was oneness, being in nature with everything. Being able to connect with the trees, connect with the animals, you know, connect with the elements. These are wealth, and you can use these elements to manifest anything, be it physical or in a spiritual realm. You can use elements to manifest everything. So, you know, we really gotta go back into knowing who we are. You can aspire to be as wealthy, but where we're going, ain't no money there, man.
Exactly.
Ain't no money there where we're going. So you can stay into your Babylonian trap and talk about you want generational wealth and you want rights to speak. And you already have your rights from the time you're thinking that you need right to speak. That means you're giving away your rights.
Yeah. Boom.
You already have the right to do everything.
Yeah. Completely.
You know, so sometimes it's be tough, you know, to understand what's happening, but then to be blinded and to not say anything about it. And I think the thing that we, most persons are trying to do and to be is putting us back into a trap, into a system, because we got to understand the system that's governing people. I don't even put myself in it because I step away from the system. But the system that people follow, it's a destructive system, and they call us the minority, and that's who the target, right? And that's because we are not the minority. If you're on top of the food chain, you ain't gonna really bother with people that's less than you. You ain't gonna really check for them.
Yeah.
But their job is to keep us down, right? Because they understand who we are, how divine we are, how sacred we are, right? So it's time to understand self and then use knowledge of self to dig yourself out of the hole that you've been allowing yourself to keep back in, right? Because ain't nobody doing you nothing.
Yes,
you have a right, you have a choice. You can say, I want to continue manifesting this kind of relationship. I want to continue manifesting this kind of job, be it good or bad, and you're gonna do what you gotta do to manifest it, or you're gonna change what need changing.
Yeah, it's simple. All right, people. On that note, because I would like for him to come back, I truly do enjoy our conversations, and I can't tap the man out. Understand? Check my Guyanese accent coming out. Listen, sidebar. I have lost my Guyanese accent because my family were ashamed of the way that we spoke, right? Yeah. So when I came here a few years ago, it was literally beaten out of me. Why are you talking so? That sound bad, right? So I had to speak this way, and it came in, exactly. And then when I got into school now, they used to make fun of me because of the way that I used to speak. So then I had to transfer and pronounce my word well. And I have a bit of a tight tongue, so certain words I cannot pronounce very well. So I find since I've been back on this, not back, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I've been back because I've been on this journey before all of this happened. Since I've been back on this journey, knowing what this journey is, and truly loving myself and being who I am in a whole, my Guyanese accent been flying out my mouth like crazy, like seriously. And the thing is that I realized that I don't stop myself. I am a Guyanese, and this is my accent. So even if I have to sound a Guyanese, yeah, because that's where I'm from. So I find like when I'm speaking, I can hear myself sounding that way, and I feel proud of myself. So getting back to my roots in a way. I don't want to talk the man out because I would like for him to come back here again and have another conversation. So I will end this here with him today for you guys. We will come back again. And if he have a friend or a woman friend or a man friend that we can bring in a panel and hear his perspective and just let women hear. It is time women sit down and listen to our men speak and listen to what our men have to go through. Because we've been hearing what women go through. We've been hearing this for ages. Understand? So it's about time we have a platform where women have to sit down and listen and say, you know what? Even though I hear what he's saying, I want to do better. Even if I don't do it better for my relationship, I want to do it better for my son that I'm about to raise. See if I can make him have a better way. And likewise, a woman, you're raising a daughter, show her the male and female side. Show her that she doesn't have to always be in control. Like, start breaking that programming down from your children so they will have a better relationship than we have now in the future. We can still save
and also, and just bear in mind too, for all the females out there, just bear in mind that male don't naturally want to be abusive. Male don't naturally want to neglect. Male don't naturally want to do a lot of things, right? But sometimes they trigger points. And sometimes the trigger points can be you. Sometimes the trigger points can be work. Sometimes the trigger points can be generational. You know, sometimes your great grandfather was this type of male, and then while
if the son noticed that
was pregnant, this is what happened, and then it comes down to your father, and then it comes down, right? And that's why we need to heal, right? So sometimes invest in your partner, like ask questions. What makes you so like this? What makes you do this? What? Because sometimes we don't have male don't want to talk to male friends. Male are too egotistic to feel like, oh, I can come and talk to my male friend, because your male friend is gonna see you as a softie. And nobody wanna be seen as a softie. So then we don't have much of an outlet. We don't have no way to turn to.
And
I respect female, how female can just, oh, call me, or, man, like, there's nothing like female going to the bathroom with each other and, like, help each other look good. A female compliment each other, like, oh, you look lovely. A total stranger, a female, right, a male would look and say, oh, he look better than me. Or, oh, he feel that, he's this. Or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And this is what I experience myself, because we all up in our heart feeling that it's always about competition, right? And then because of that stupid programming, we don't have nowhere to go. Because why? We're in competition with my brother. So I can't let him know that, like, listen, man, I'm having a situation dealing with my girlfriend, or having a little financial situation, I having work challenges, I having whatever, right? Because your friend, oh boy, he got work, he want to live outside in me, he buy fancy car, now he got work. You know what I mean? So we don't got nowhere to go. And then when we got to deal with a female with who was in opposition, it's like, what the hell to do? You know what I mean? And that's why males sometimes lash out and do certain things. So sit down, build a vibe, connect, ask important questions, invest in your partner. We're about investing in partners' mental health. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got nowhere to go. We ain't got nowhere to go. And then sometimes we run and we might get help from another race. Because another race what a man need. Another race was taught differently. Another race was schooled differently. Another race was introduced to different television programming, right? So they got programmed differently. So you can't be mad when somebody running. We always running towards betterment. That's for sure. We ain't gonna left. They say you can't left bread and butter to go for biscuits and something, right? So we're not gonna left something that's really good to go for something that's not good. That is pure craziness. So then, understand. Go on. If you don't have a white woman friend, for those that might feel like black men going and deal with white women, it's all about investing in knowledge. You wanna be a black man. Find out what a black man like.
Study your enemy.
Black men like white women.
Yes.
Go on, listen. What is it about you? Don't even ask it away. Come around.
Now I won't ask that way.
Learn their quality. You know what I mean? It's all about knowledge. It's all about knowledge. But just invest in the black man. Invest.
But that's why I love a Guyanese woman, right? Because like how you say, like I have seen Guyanese women go to people and say, "What is that make your business so good? What are you just doing?" And they can sit down and listen and try to pull from you to be able to apply that to their lives. So I find that Guyanese women are extremely bold when it's coming to understand. So that is a Guyanese thing. I will go to a woman and be like, how is that your marriage is so successful, hon? How will you just do? Like, I want to know because I want to be able to experience that. Don't be afraid to
treat it like a job.
Boom.
Treat it like a job. Study it. Like it's an exam. And that's facts, man. That's facts. You want to be with somebody, you want to make it last, you have to study it. You want to be good at your partner. You can't sometimes, and I've experienced this where like this is how you used to make love to your ex, and then you want to come and make love to me like that. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not the same. You gotta study. Everybody is a new being, you know. You gotta study. You gotta invest in your partner.
Yes.
And if you're going thinking that this is how it should be, everybody's different. It's gonna fail, and it's gonna keep failing and failing and failing until you invest in asking the black man, what is it that you need?
Yes.
Right? What is it that? How can I help you? You know, we need this kind of conversation.
A lot.
And there are certain other races that deal with the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think both male and female can you know, in a broader spectrum now, can communicate with a partner, be transparent, you know. How can I help you? How can I help you? You know, because when somebody feel like, hey, this person really care about me, they're gonna go and bring heaven and help you.
Wow, Austin. Thank you very much.
But if you don't invest in learning this course, you don't show nothing, then you know what I mean?
Then leave.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
Exactly. And that's where you get cheated on. And people think cheating is, oh, you know what, I cook and I clean for he, I do all these things for he, and he gonna cheat. No, boo. Yes, you're doing cooking and cleaning or whatever, but you're not giving him his spiritual growth. You're not elevating this man. You're not speaking life into this man. You're not seeing life for your relationship with this man. So when you do that, he's going to still leave, because where he came into this relationship, he came in and it's still the same exact pattern. That's why a lot of people say that, you know, I cook and I clean for he and I treat he good and he still go out there and cheat. It's because we are missing the spiritual aspect of a relationship and basing it solely on physical and materialistic thing in a lot of ways. So you'll find that, yes, you're giving your partners everything society say that you should, but he is still lacking in some sort of way. And then he's going to go with some woman who's going to feed his soul, who's going to feed him and tell him things that are new, things that are different from what you've been doing and taught to say and do. And that's how come people tend to get cheated on. I am not talking about the ungrateful men who actually have a woman who's going to be speaking life into him. And I shouldn't call him ungrateful. I should call him lost, because it's not ungrateful. It's still being lost within himself. But I'm not speaking to those type of men. I'm speaking to the men who still want substance from being in a mateship. And I find now relationships are more substance based instead of, so what type of job you got? Or how are you single? You got any children? You ain't got any children type of scenario people want to know. So when you think about religion, or how you just eat, or what you think of the programming, or give me your view on the Matrix. And if you could bring a good view in Matrix, then I know we could have a conversation, because I see you see Matrix out of the box. But that is a type of conversation that is happening right now. And that is the type of change that people want in their environment right now. So to end off our podcast, and off great, let us know something. Tell us something great in terms of just everything in the whole of just being a better being, relationship aspect, anything we have missed, and what we can do.
All right. So what we can do is, again, I've said it and I'll say it again, invest in knowledge of self. Because once you understand yourself, you know what you can accept from a man, what you can accept from a woman. Also, be patient, you know, with yourself, be patient with your partner, because we're all evolving. So sometimes somebody might not be where you're at spiritually, financially, etc. But you know, look for the simple qualities, you know, simple qualities, and also don't hold back. Like female like to hold back. How if you hold back, you know, you talk about if you like it, you're gonna put a ring on it or something. But nobody is gonna put a ring on somebody's finger who is not showing potential.
Boom.
So if you want to have the ring, you gotta do what is gonna make the man feel like he's worthy of the ring. You know, so just be transparent, be yourself, be open. You know, honesty is the best quality, and your honesty does not have to resonate with everybody. But once you can look in the mirror and know that you've been honest with yourself, then you should be able to sleep good at night, because you're not going to be able to please everybody, etc. But yeah, so invest in knowledge of self, be patient, you know, and those are two important key, you know, because once you know yourself, you're gonna look to somebody that also know themselves.
Exactly.
You're gonna know what can work for you, likewise the person can know what can work for them.
Exactly.
And you be transparent, you be honest, and that's a good recipe for a successful relationship.
Yeah. So this bogus communication, because different cultures have a different way of communicating. Guyanese have their way of understanding certain words and saying certain things. Likewise, Pedro, I've learned that years ago. So what we may not take serious, they may take serious. So for me, communication is, for me right now, is so less when it comes to certain relationship, because people understanding of words and triggers of words and how words they may relate emotion to words is get into a lot of communicative issues. So I feel like what he is saying in terms of knowing yourself completely, you know whether this person way of understanding this word or if this person emotion behind this word means that it has nothing to do with what they are trying to say and how they are expressing in that manner. So definitely, I can't say communication, because communication to me is a fail. That is my belief. I truly believe communication in a relationship right now is such a fail because people put emotion behind it. How you agree, disagree? What do you think? Because this is my.
I think people only communicate from based upon their own wants, right? So it's not where you're really trying to again invest in the person. It's like, this is what I'm lacking, and what you're not giving.
Yes.
So as opposed to a true transparent form of communication, it's not really a balance. It's like, oh, this is what you're not doing.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? So it's and it's a selfish world we're living into now anyway. Please. So you're not gonna find like communication might help, but again, once you understand yourself, that's what's gonna help everything. Exactly. It's gonna help everything. You know? Gonna help everything.
Knowledge of self, people. This podcast shows you just the type of pressure you're on, but boils down to the solution of knowledge of self. I like it. So thank you very much for visiting the podcast today as well. Peoples, go visit the fella. His workouts are amazing, balls. I am getting muscles, people. I am getting muscles. Understand? So please join his workout that he do sometimes on Zoom, sometimes on Instagram as well. But go ahead. No, you know what? Talk. You do you. Go ahead. Tell him how to find you and what you do.
Yes, right now because of the Rona season,
it's true.
we are forced to still try to keep persons healthy. So we're basically doing full body weight workout Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday at 6 p.m. on Zoom. You can check me out on CoreFit Barbados on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That's COREFIT Barbados. And that's where you can follow me, especially on Instagram. I'm more active there. And it's a very broad platform. It's supposed to be, but I'm not a supposed to kind of guy. So it's supposed to be just about, food and weight and that's it. But for me, it's broad because I'm a diverse guy. And I think knowledge is important. So I post a lot of valuable information out there, from who you are as a divine being, to your connection to nature, your connection to eating, all of these stuff. Good information out there. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at CoreFit Barbados. And for now, that's it.
All right. Well, that's that. People follow me on Instagram at Miss Diva_Culture Healing. YouTube as well, Culture Healing. Everything is Culture Healing. Google Culture Healing, you'll find Culture Healing.
Yes,
so
please.
I am everywhere. Forgive me if you hear me crunching and munching this whole session. Guys, I'm eating nuts. Forgive me. It's a thing. Okay? So with that being said, thank you so much for joining our podcast. And if you're interested in the collab or anything else, let us know. We are always here if you want to inbox and both of us about foods, how to work out, what to do, things to eat. Just message any one of us and I and him will respond to you as well. So
awesome.
Have a great great and awesome. I have not posted awesome, people. I have not posted my awesome for the day. I've been forgetting, so I'll try my best to do one for this video. We'll see how it goes. But have an awesome day. Pardon me?
Awesome.
Yes. I love awesome. I break down the letters in awesome and tell you the positive versions of how I feel within that awesome for the day, and I post it at the end of my YouTube videos. So,
all right.
Yes, with that being said, bye guys.
Ciao.
Hey you, yes you. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for coming to my page. So I would like for you to subscribe, and I also want you to watch the last video, and I hope that you enjoy everything on my channel. Thank you.